Give people time to come in.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything. That's my boy! Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia!
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander War. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for people.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
It's true. That's why we gotta shine a light. Oh, shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh, yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. The Unity Channel. Zero News and now. Tom Generation Next. It's gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Oops. Bear with me. Doesn't want to play ball. Wake up! Wake up, you bastard! Let me see. Never get a Samsung S24. Welcome back, my friends. I'm Tom Fury. This is Euronews, and this is the last time I'll be using Prism. This is going to be cancelled as from today. I should have used StreamYard so I could let people come on, but I don't know if Vin's doing a stream at 12 today, so have a look out for that. But maybe I'll do a live stream this afternoon if people actually want to come and talk about it. We'll see. For some reason, I'm not getting out today very well, so I don't know why that is. But we always get out and get her, but YouTube, for some reason, we've hit a block this last 24 hours. Strange that, isn't it? So it might be nothing. It might be nothing. Sometimes you go through these things with YouTube, but it's just weird. The numbers were very high, and then suddenly, poof, today they're gone. So, but we can carry on as normal. I found that's the best thing to do. So, the ETHNAT, CIVNAT debate has been going on in our movement for years, and they clash, bang, like that. They really clash, and I think what didn't do our movement a lot of good is the first time that I saw them clash was that there was a particular small sect of people that were coming after us, and they did believe in the Austrian painter. They did believe in, you know, some of them did anyway, in the goose stepping and stuff like that. So we were taught that's who they all were. If you say the word ETHNAT, you're talking about all of these goose steppers. That's not fair. It's not right. It's not true. What I found out with my own research, rather than listening to people who wanted me to buy their narrative, was actually there's a wide spectrum of beliefs, and the goose stepping stuff is a very, very small percentage of people. Very small. In fact, it's much more about an ethnic identity. That's it. It's about an ethnic identity, which if you talked about any other race on the planet, you would get, hey there buddy, good to see you, which you would get from any other race on the planet. They would talk about and protect their ethnic identity. So 8 years ago, when people knew less, and when we were being attacked by ETHNATs that believed in the Austrian painter, then yes, I understand why we clashed against them. However, not all of them were. And to then allow people to paint every ETHNAT as the same when they probably made up 1% of the total in Europe was disgusting, really, because it made a lot of us think that ETHNAT equals Nazi, which it doesn't. Otherwise it would be called Nazi, wouldn't it? So what you've got is like what you saw with Richard Inman. People who are so fucking indoctrinated now that they hear the word ethno-nationalist and they go and they can't have a grown-up dialogue. You shouldn't platform these people. Well, I wouldn't. If someone's talking about killing Jews or goose-stepping, they're not coming on the channel, right? Why would I platform that? And they say, oh, they're very, very clever. Well, again, you're talking about the 1% goose-steppers, yeah? Not the rest of them. Right? I've seen a range of views amongst ethno-nationals. And here's something interesting. I've been labelled many things, far right and all this other stuff, by other people. I've never given myself a label because I've never really been totally sure where I am. And lots of people labelled me as CIVNAT. And fine, I took the label, whatever. Didn't really care. Labels are labels. Sometimes they're useful, sometimes they're not. So people labelled me as CIVNAT. I don't know if that's true, because there's parts of CIVNAT stuff I agree with, parts of it I think doesn't go far enough. It's, you know, so what my point, there's a few points that I wanted to make, and I hope I can remember them all. My point is, this isn't 10 years ago, and as I've tried to say to people, you've got to keep updating the knowledge, and you've got to keep growing. And when you see someone like, say, Richard, and I'm sorry to mention his name, but because he hears the word ETHNAT, that's got to stop. We've got to be a little bit more discerning than that. Otherwise, we're not going to win the war that is upon us. So what we have to realise is, first of all, stop freaking out over the word ETHNAT. It doesn't mean evil. It's a belief system, and it's a wide-ranging belief system. And it's about believing in your ethnicity. There's nothing wrong with that. That is not racism. These people often, and what I've noticed with ethno-nationals, they often, to people like our civic nationals, again, us civic nationals, see, I'm calling myself a name I don't even know. To the people they've called civic nationals, they seemed quite arrogant, they seemed quite cocky, right? And it put a lot of us off. But I realised something, as I've been watching over time. It's not that they're arrogant or cocky. It's that we are still infected with the, oh, I'm white, I'm guilty. We're still infected with the, oh, I've got to do the right thing. And the right thing being somebody else's idea of the right thing, not my own idea of the right thing. We're still infected by Europe. We're still infected by a lot of ideas that compromise us. So the reason I think that ethno-nationalists seem to come across as arrogant to us is because they believe in themselves. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. Danny Roscoe, my friend Danny Roscoe, he knows, because he's black, he knows to play the game in terms of with the police. And we've talked about this many times, we've laughed about this many times. He uses the police weapons against them. So they try and distinguish with colour and stuff like that. So he uses that against them. And so he, as a result, is unapologetically right-wing. If you speak to him about his right-wing policies, he's unapologetically right-wing. Because he doesn't fear the labelling of anybody white who says they're right-wing. So he will walk straight through that. Doesn't care. And he's told me, whatever they label you, racist or whatever else, just embrace it. You know you're not, so just embrace it. Walk straight through it. Don't let it tarnish you. Don't let it bother you. And that's what I've realised is the whole game is like, we know the left can't shut us down with conversations, but when someone on the supposed right comes in and says, oh, they're all ethno-nationals, they're all bad. When it's coming from someone of authority, people believe that. And it's a dangerous thing to do, because, again, I know that many of you ethno-nationals out there look down on civic nationalists. That needs to stop, and the civic nationalists need to stop judging the ethno-nationalists when most of them don't actually know anything about them. There's a word that we're all ignoring: nationalist. That word has been treated as a dirty word for years and years and years and years. I believe from listening to people like Dino Bain and from people in my own circles, that what we want is closer to the same than anybody else. We want the deportation of bad people. We don't want our country replaced by other races because this is our home. In those respects, there's not much difference. Some CIVNATs, yes, they will make more allowances, but some won't. Don't forget, things have changed. So I've said to you, we need to adapt to the changes in ETHNAT society, but also as CIVNATs have changed. People are becoming more desperate. People are becoming more aware of the situation. People are becoming more... You can see the desperation in the way they're reaching out for Rupert Lowe at the moment. That's not just hope, that's desperation. I've literally spoke to someone last night who said, I've got to believe in this, because if I don't, I'll give up all hope. And now I understand why people are circling around Rupert Lowe the way they are. It's not ETHNATs, it's not CIVNAT, it's every fucking British person that gives a shit about their fucking country. That's the truth. And people are scared. People are scared. They know what's going to happen if we lose the election. They know what's going to happen if this shit keeps happening. So what I would say to you is that yes, there are always going to be some wanker ETHNATs, there's going to be some wanker CIVNATs and whatever else. But again, I've been called a CIVNAT. I'm not calling myself a CIVNAT. I don't know what I am. I do know that we have an ethnic right to survive. Okay? My belief. What I would say to people is, we've got to stop acting like 10 years ago. Stop reacting to names and words. They're just labels. Talk to the fucking people individually. Because like I said, I think ETHNATs come across as cocky because they have belief in themselves. They don't second guess every fucking thing that comes out of their mouth. Where many of us are going, oh, should I say that? Should I say this? Should I say that? You're walking on fucking eggshells. What I see when I look at some of the more sensible, bright and fair ETHNATs, or people that might be called ETHNATs, I can't say that they actually are, is that they're just confident in their beliefs. They're comfortable in their own skin. What's wrong with that? Whereas I see people more to the centre who are absolutely treading on eggshells all the time. They're not even comfortable in their own skin. I wonder if it's because it's the wrong colour. I don't know. But you see my point. There's the self-hatred of the left is also, that self-loathing or masochism is in the centre, and even centre-right. And again, part of it, brainwashing. Just hate. Everybody who's African national equals Nazi racist. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Because you break it down, it doesn't mean any of the above. I'll tell you where it came from our perspective. It came from Mark Collett. I know many of you people like Mark Collett. I don't, and nor do many other people, because of what he stood for and because of what he was coming to the movement with. My argument isn't with you people that support him. It's with his arguments and the things that he believes in and pretends not to. So I saw a video today where I saw a guy that I quite like, and he's talking about, what wankers CIVNATs are. And again, I'm not calling myself a CIVNAT. Other people have called me that. What wankers CIVNATs are. You can't be doing that anymore. Like, people need to lose that arrogance and realise that we're all nationalists. Some are softer than others, but a lot more people are just... even people that weren't right-wing are falling right-wing because they've got to make a choice. And they're deciding to go right-wing. Not, I want to say full right, but people are going to take that the wrong way. They're right-wing, and they would want to preserve their race, if you want to call it that. So at that point, I don't see too many dissimilarities. So what are they fighting over? They're fighting because people have told them to fight. They're arguing because people have told them to argue. If the nationals are told to look down on other people, on like civic nationals, the civic nationals are taught to treat ethnic nationals like they need to wear garlic around their necks to keep them away. I wonder how that happened. Someone's made that happen, because we both know that you are not all fucking racist, not even close, nor are us lot. So what's going on? Why has this been created in the first place? Your fella Richard Inman, well, first of all, he's not my fella. Yeah, he's not my fella. I used to get on with him years ago, and he has lost all respect from me. All respect. The way he, who do you think I was referencing when I was going about the ETHNAT National? Showing up at community demos in my area promoting certain political parties, and people don't see him for what he is. What he's really. What you mean is, oh, maybe I don't know what you mean. I saw him on stage with some ETHNAT nationals that he said he would never stand on stage with just a few days after saying it. Are you talking about something different? It'd be interesting to see what you mean by that. Morning, Tom in chat. I feel that many are picking apart the whole far left mentality contagious. Yes, I believe it is contagious. I believe it is contagious, yes. Because think about what I was saying earlier on in this video. People that call me CIVNAT, I don't know what I am. I think I'm probably more ETHNAT, but I don't know. I don't see that it really matters. I want the survival of my race, right? But is it contagious? Absolutely. Why do you think they do it? They do it. I was reading about activism the other day, and about activism on the left. They deliberately call us Nazis and everything else because they know it causes a primal revulsion in people. The infectiousness of it, when we started looking at certain aspects of our movement and that, we started to notice what we called the woke right. People that were now above criticism, people that were now getting offended by criticism, people that now are trying to shut down conversations with a word. Yeah, we were having a really bad signal, Tom. I can see people getting kicked off. People that were getting upset over a word. Yes, it's definitely contagious. It infects. Generally speaking, from what I've seen, the centre right, centre left. That leftist mentality affects them badly because look at what happened to Richard. When faced with reality, he crumbled. When faced with the reality, see, I can see people talking, but it says I've got nobody on the chat. It's crazy. Something's happening today that doesn't normally happen. But yeah, are any of you getting kicked off? Is this coming through okay? Because I'm having all kinds of problems this end. So yeah, he's exactly who I'm talking about, and you know, and I don't want to get on his back because I don't think he's a totally happy person at the moment. But he started all this trouble that we're having. I don't think he started it all deliberately, but he started this trouble that we're having. And yes, he does promote politics. That is, he's always promoted politics that's more centre, but centre doesn't mean sensible, which is the way these people try and pass it off. It means, at the moment, what centre's drifted to is more of a left thing. I'd say it means capitulation. The centre means capitulation. The centre means trying to virtue signal for the right, but really, I feel like you're serving parts of the left and their whims. You're not being a delegator. You're not being a mediator. You're making a choice, and that is multiculturalism. I believe if you're in this. But low, we saw how it brought out the best and worst in people, and something else that made me think. Somebody said online today, I don't know what's going on with our numbers today, guys. We haven't had this low numbers for a long time. I don't know if it's signal. I don't know what it is. But every time it starts to rise, they get knocked off again. Anyway, we just keep going. So I saw someone today mentioning how the police are getting geared up and people on the street are getting geared up. And we've got to get through the next 3 years, and there's a very good chance of violence before then. But what do you think happens if Rupert Lowe has a campaign that's successful on a Donald Trump type of level? What do you think happens then? Do you think that if before he even wins an election, if he does, do you think that Rupert Lowe and his party, if they start to show real power and real support, and these policies start to, because if they're good policies, these policies start to get out there, do you think that our Islamic brothers and sisters and other people in this country, do you think they're just going to sit quietly? Do you think they're going to raise hell? Do you think that we're going to need to make sure that we're protecting people? Because civil war or no civil war, they're not going to take this lightly. They're not going to take it laying down, which is why groups of people staying safe. They're cowards at the end of the day. A lot of these people, they will only pick on weak people. So groups of people staying safe, being careful, while we get to the safe zone. Yeah, your country's not safe and you know it. So let's get to the safe zone. Unless you're capable of defending yourself, in which case go out there and do whatever. But yeah, fuck them. Don't get me wrong. Ultimately, fuck them. I agree. They are going to get what they've earned in our country after we were so, well, I say we were so welcome and we weren't asked. But what I mean by welcome is why we didn't judge. We thought people might integrate. And we didn't know that we were being replaced back at that point. And we didn't know that our land was being sold off and that our business was being sold off and that we were being sold off as a country. So I think this whole ETHNAT, CIVNAT debate is bollocks. And I think that people all need to update their firmware to realise where we're at now, because the two sides have come closer. Not the extremes of the two sides, but the bulk of the two sides have come closer, because they basically are fighting for a very similar thing now, which is survival. Fucking survival. And when it comes to survival, you don't have the luxury to talk about, to have long debates over what's this, what's that, what's this. It starts to cut it down to the survival necessities. And that's why you may be seeing certain people you would term as CIVNATs coming this way. It's because necessity means you've got to break it down to the bare minimum to survive now, because we're at that stage. So I am going to stop using the ETHNAT, CIVNAT terms, because I just think it's divisive and I think it's intended to be. I'm going to say nationalist. I know it's a dirty word. I know it's been pissed on, but there's nothing wrong with believing in your national borders, your national sovereignty, your national government when it works. You know, everything about our country. So there's nothing wrong with being a nationalist as it was originally intended. So I'm going to call people nationalists. If they prove themselves to be racist or Nazis, then they will be called out. How many racists and Nazis? By the way, when the first time I came in contact with supposed ETHNATs 8 years ago, how many of them believed in Hitler and stuff like that? Quite a few. Because they came from a very small percentage. This time round, now we've got real problems on the table. How many ETHNATs do you think have come onto my channel and started raving on lunacy about racism and Hitler? Zero. People say, it's because they got smart. Oh, shut up. You can't hide your beliefs. No, it's because you're seeing the real people come out now. The real people of Britain don't have the luxury to sit and talk about Hitler and all this other stupid shit. Right? They are interested in survival. Same as me. We've got to pull together, people, and stop talking about this CIVNAT, ETHNAT thing. It doesn't mean what it did 8 years ago. If you're living in the past, like Mr. Inman, we're going to fail at this. Because the Greens, all the left, are going to come out in droves to save themselves come that next election. They're going to try and save themselves. If we're split, if we're not thinking together, they will win. In fact, I'm almost certain they're going to win anyway. They're going to come out in numbers and they're going to be strong. We need to come out in bigger, strong numbers and be stronger. And my hope is that because this is the last election we really can probably save the country with, that people will do that. But we need, I think, to pummel reform to make it, because we know what it is now, right? Centre-right, meaning possibly anything else. We know they believe in multiculturalism and immigration. We need to smash that party. We really need to smash that party, ridicule it, smash it, and show it for what it really is. Because otherwise, that's going to be wasting votes that we need. We need to capture hearts and minds. Not tell, and this is what I'm trying to say to CIVNATs and ETHNATs. Stop calling each other cunts. We need to pull hearts and minds to win this election. You're always going to get bad people tag on to no matter who you are. Whether you're CIVNAT, whether you're ETHNAT, whether you're team this, team that. You're always going to get bad people that will tag on to that. Majority of people I've ever met in Britain are good people that mean no one any harm. Most of them just want to be safe in their own homes and know that it's safe to bring up children in the future without being marauded. So, is that unreasonable? No, of course it's not. But they're being treated like criminals. So I just want people to have a think about this. To the ETHNATs that come over, most of you are brilliant, but the ones that come over going, oh, we knew years ago and all the rest of it, like, just chill, because some of these people that you're having a go at are trying to meet you halfway, and then they get attacked, and then they don't want to. And a lot of these people that you're trying to get through to have been attacked by their own side and made to feel like shit by their own side because they dared to question the narrative, and they were ostracized and destroyed for it. So you've got to understand, people are frightened to reaching out to discover what you're about because they've been warned away from it. Yeah, like I was. So this time I'm not warned away from fuck all, which is why I'm talking. And to the CIVNATs, same thing. You were told to believe something. That's fine. Now it's time to expand, grow, and question your beliefs. If they still hold true, fine. If they don't, take a look. I'm not saying you should become I'm saying no ETHNAT, no CIVNAT, nationalists. Save our fucking country. That's all I'm saying. So it's up to people. Listen, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the numbers today. It's 2 times I've tried to get out, and I just keep hitting 0 on the counter. It could be the counter's lying. I have no idea. But there's no point me trying to broadcast to what I don't even know whether there's anybody there or not. It keeps coming up with comments like you're there. So it's like, I'm like, oh, they're there. But I can't tell. And it's beginning to drive me crazy. This is the first day this has happened in, God, ages and ages. Yeah, see, I'm still getting comments. So it must be the counter's fucked. It must be the counter's fucked. Let me try and catch up. Hey everybody. Blue Bell, Rustic, Justice for 100, Lone Star. Great, thank you, mate. Roxanne. Didn't get a notification for you today. No, it's 12% of people getting notifications. Although it did say not everybody signed up to receive the actual notification bell. So check on that as well. But yes, I am seeing only about, what was it? No, not 12%. About under 19%, I think it was, that were getting, hey Babs, that were getting, notifications. So I am sorry about that. Good to see you back, Babs, yeah. See, everybody who wanted me and Babs to be on the down, aren't you disappointed? Sorry. Sorry we didn't give you the show you wanted. Anyway, so let's carry on. The thing that annoyed me about him was sorry, let me catch up with you, mate. Sorry, you see the chat keeps jumping, mate. It's not you, or me, it's this thing. Right, the thing that annoyed me about him, it was, for fuck's sake. Right, listen, bear with me. What about him was it was a demo because women were being followed. We're concerned about our local people, and he's spouting about advanced UK. Right. So basically hijacking the demo for his own personal. How long ago was this? Because that would be very interesting to know how long ago this was. Do you know what? Richard used to be a guy, no matter whether you would agree with him or not, because there's things you would never agree with his policies on, but whether you agree with him or not, he was a guy that you could always sit down and talk to, no matter what side you were on. I don't know what's happened to him. I want to hear more about free speech from Rupert, and I still would like him to show he's not obsessed with class. True, with the class, I agree with you, and that's one of my biggest criticisms I said, is that we're never represented by poor people. But what we'll still say to you about free speech is he's already promised to protect free speech. Now that is the best. So he's already promised to roll back the changes to free speech that have been made now, get rid of hate speech, and then he's going to protect free speech. Now, the important part about that is to protect free speech is better than to manage it. So what people try and do is they try and put laws on free speech. It doesn't work because you're really just taking away free speech. He understands the difference. The only thing that you can do to police free speech is protect it. So he's going to take the things out and he's going to, like they do in America. So he has tackled it. But yeah, it needs to keep coming out. But this is what turned me towards Rupert Lowe, was his policies all were things that I'd been asking for. I said I wouldn't vote for a party that didn't repeal Starmer's laws. And he's repealing them. Or he's going to. Northern Gale, good to see you. Morning. Good morning, Tina. I just realised, was the reason I wasn't getting numbers the time I went live? I don't know. No, look, it still says I got one on here. And yet I can see you guys. It's fucked. My counter's fucked, guys. Sorry. If I seemed like I was getting frustrated earlier on, I'm sorry. It's telling me none of you are on here. It's telling me none of you are on here. Right, let me catch up with you more quickly now. Right. I can see more of your comments. I'm only getting a third through here, remember? Right. Try and catch up. Agreed, Tom. What pisses me off is some are projecting negative vibes and almost admitting defeat before we've even started. Right. And that's not even... I think some of that's deliberate. And again, look at how this started. Rupert Lowe comes out, finally does what everybody's wanted. We could be, at the moment, going through a renaissance of demos, happiness, not because we won, but because we've got hope and a real candidate for the first time. And yet, all this negativity, it does make you question it, doesn't it? How's this come about? We want our country back. We do. Oswald, Tom, are your thoughts on the 14 words? I remember them being brought up to me in the past, and I can't even remember them anymore. So please don't ask me about that, because I remember it almost felt like it was a trick question in the past. Again, we were told to avoid stuff like that. So I can't remember them. I know that people used to tell me if the nationals used to tell me them, but I can't remember them anymore. It's years ago since I had those conversations. We're talking about into another channel too. There's about 25 on. It's weird, like Capricorn, it's telling me I've got one on. The tits. Both CIVNAT and ETHNAT are scalar anyway. There are very few extreme ETHNATs. I agree. I think I worked out to be about 1%. 1%. Like people going about Dino Bane. Listen to what he says. He wants to, like there was someone, I saw him on a channel the other day with someone, and someone was saying, just take the immigrants and go and throw them out of a plane with a parachute, right? They were joking, but he was like, no, that's not humane. There's no need to do things like that to people. Yeah, like just take them safely back to their homeland, right? That's what he was like. This is the problem. So people think ETHNATs or extremists that hate people with other coloured skin. Actually, he was being very humane about the problem, and he didn't want every single to get rid of the majority of people who are fucking illegal criminals, everything else, which would take up a massive part of the immigration to this country. Is there something wrong with the algorithms? Apparently, well, what's happening with YouTube at the moment, I will say this, is they are, because 2025 YouTube was still something you used on your phone. 2026 it's become something you use on the Xbox, on the big screen, on the 55-inch televisions. So YouTube are aware of this. They just become the same size as Netflix. YouTube are jumping on this now, which is why you're seeing loads of major changes. They're updating, upgrading the sound. They are upgrading everything so it looks good on the big screen. In the meantime, it means that we're all suffering, because in the background things are glitching, going wrong. I hope this isn't some kind of shadow ban on me today, but if you're saying it's happening to other people, it's probably not. But numbers haven't been appearing properly. All kinds of things have not been working fully since they've been doing it. They're doing a massive amount of engineering in the background because they know people are watching on the big screen now, and they're trying to get bigger than Netflix now so that they can buy certain things. So there's definitely something wrong with YouTube today. It's still telling me there's one person on, and I've got comments coming through left, right, and centre. Yeah, please give us a thumbs up, just to let us know you're about. Yeah, see, look, you've already beaten the numbers on there. So the counter's useless today. If it's just the counter, it doesn't matter. If it's just the counter, it doesn't matter. Me and Richard I've got podcasts. I looked at one the other day. Me and Richard, when Richard had 900 subscribers, and I was trying to help him grow his channel because he couldn't grow it. He wasn't doing enough podcasts, and I had him on my channel for interviews and that. And he was a really sensible person to talk to. But I do think that we've got to a point in our politics where, one, I think maybe he had some aspirations, and two, his politics has finally been broken because he's had to, quote, pick a side. Tina, Michael, did Inman make a video saying he finished with marches and videos? I don't know, but he was on stage the other day with ETHNATs. With ETHNATs in Ireland. So whether he knew they were or not, I don't know, but he should know. If he's going to make statements like, I'll never stand on stage with an ETHNAT, well, then you should know who you stand on stage with. And I'm willing to bet he probably did. Tommy's given advance to kiss of death. I'll be honest with you, I've given advance a kiss of death as well, though, because when they tried to smear Rupert, that was the kiss of death. I'll be honest with you, what Rupert's proven, I think this is what everybody's really got the knickers in a twist about, was that Advance was never really a threat. I thought it was, until you saw how it was eclipsed by Rupert Lowe, and how amateur hour it was from that moment. And I think it made everybody realise, oh shit, we could have voted for these people and they're not up to the task. They're actually incapable. And then the big reveal, oh shit, they're not even right wing. They lied about their politics. They're dead. They're dead. So, Inman state asset. I don't know if he's a state asset. I don't believe that. I hope not. I just think that he's strictly centrist because he believes it's the sensible place to be. He hears the word ETHNAT and he's getting old now, and he just will not investigate it, will not read about it, will not knowledge to be acquired. Nobody evolves, nobody changes. He's already made up his mind. That's why you can see him in the videos. Someone says the word ETHNAT, Richard loses his fucking mind without having a conversation. He sees ETHNAT as Nazi. When you got that mindset, you're fucked. But I also think he's in a state of denial because he feels like he's losing things out of his control. And then I think in his head, he really thinks the country's going racist. It's fucking insane. None of us are racist. And he, as a guy that used to stick up for people in this country, should know that. But he obviously doesn't trust his countrymen to not be racist. Thanks, Richard. And that's what he did. He basically called all his countrymen racist. Well, fuck you. I'm from Belfast and you're correct. I see it as hijacking. It was about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to get on for that type of demo and then make it about Advance UK, that was naughty. I didn't know that. That's why I hope TR stays away from Restore. I don't think TR will be welcome at Restore. Not only that, but many people don't understand where he stands on Israel. So, that's that. I don't think he'll be invited for that reason. Don't get me wrong, look, you know I've worked with Tommy, done the Rape of Britain. Tommy's great. But when it comes to politics, he'll say himself he doesn't want anything to do with it. But also, he shouldn't have anything to do with it. Because he appears to be compromised. In terms of... I'm not going to get into it now because people will take it the wrong way and then we'll start the fucking hatred and the wars. My point being is, yes, he should be kept away from Restore. But I don't think Restore would have him close anyway because they already know this. Tommy's not a politician. He'll say that himself. But we need people who are prepared to fight all invaders to this country, not just the ones they select. I did see this morning a church in Blackpool is now being converted into a bigger mosque. I thought this had stopped. Churches. Do you think it's accidents that it's actual churches that are being converted to mosques and not other buildings? They're replacing the churches. Inman changed when Restore started, didn't he? He changed the day that Rupert said no. He changed that day. Don't get me wrong, I'll be honest with you, really, let me be ruthlessly honest with you if you want me to be. He changed when he got the opportunity to sit with Paul Fort and be Tommy's mouthpiece while Tommy was in prison. They all do. I've seen it happen before. And they got popular. And then when Tommy came out of prison, they kept talking as though they had his authority. And people believed it. But they didn't. And then when Tommy pulled the rug out from under them, they didn't know what hit him, especially Richard. And that sent him wobbly head about the ETHNATs. If people, I'm not going to put it all on Richard, if people have handled that situation with Rupert like adults, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now with all the people arguing, wouldn't be in the position we're in now with, people would be much more supportive of Rupert across the movement. He caused that. Hey Lynn. Yeah, it says I've got 2 watching and yet there's like multiple people commenting. It's fucked. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. That's what I've got to do. It's just YouTube are obviously having an off day. I just hope they remember to add the numbers that are missing later on. Otherwise, it's going to show no numbers on there. And we all know that's not true. Sometimes they will, though. Sometimes they realise they fuck up and they add the numbers back on. But it doesn't matter. As long as I can talk to you guys, it doesn't matter. I can let you on. You can have your own. So, like, for instance, we're talking about CIVNATs, ETHNATs. It's about Tom has some people on so they can defend themselves and speak. That's good to hear about free speech as the numbers, Tom. I think YT is going to mess with everybody this movement. Yeah, but also, you're right. But also remember some of the stuff that's going on with YouTube, and I'm not defending them, but some of the stuff that's going on with YouTube is purely symptomatic of the changes they're trying to make to change the platform to be for the big screen. So some of the things that are going on are not actually deliberate. They're also in an ad blocking war with someone, which can make certain views not appear. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. So I think this is more of a technical glitch than it is a censorship. If it was a censorship, then the people wouldn't actually be able to see me, but they can. It's only the number that's wrong. The display number that's wrong. The people are... If people couldn't see me, then I'd be shadow banned. Because they can, it just says error. Caroline, Georgia. Then Scott, Restore needs not to alienate TR, but don't take him in. That's very good. It well said. Restore needs not to alienate TR, but don't take him in. He will be the death nail. Not everyone thinks the sun shines out of his ass. Right. But I like what you said there, because you got the fuck's sake, you got the nuance right. Hang on a minute. Sorry. Because he's got a lot of followers, and just alienating them all would be stupid, but bringing them in would also be stupid. You're dead right. Don't need to alienate those people because you need them as voters, but you certainly don't need them in there either. I agree. I think that's a very stuff that's not true, but I've heard about it before you mentioned it today, so it's a shame. You see you, Michael. 14 words doesn't matter. You're talking about it originated from a man in America, which was a muck case, right? Nutter. Oh, okay, right. Got you. Yeah, that was a lot of the time. There was all this 14 word stuff, and that being thrown at us from supposed ETHNATs back in the day, you know. And yeah, there was a lot of that going on. So 18 likes. You must have at least 30 on now. Yeah, I think so as well. So don't worry about the numbers, guys. It's okay. It's YouTube's just fixing their systems. I don't think they're trying to fuck with me. If they were, you guys wouldn't be able to see me. So everything's cool. Don't worry. Chirac, I appreciate your continued support, my friend. Tigeroo, your feed keeps glitching and freezing. Well, we may have found the problem then. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But if it's freezing and glitching, that explains the problems we've had with the data. Okay, there's not a lot I can do about it at the moment, but I will. There's not a lot I can do about it at the moment, but that explains what it is. It's kicking people off in the eyes of the stream thing here. So I can't do much to fix the stream because I'm actually running off what's normally a really good signal. It says it's running at about 2.3 megabits per second. So I don't know what's happened there, my friend. I'm sorry. Let me try and catch up because I'm way behind. What time is it? Don't want to. If Vin's going live, I don't want to go over Vin, so I've got to be careful. If we get anywhere near 12 o'clock, that's I need to, yeah. Somewhere else soon if the BBC and YouTube get together regarding live streams, stream, etc. Yeah, true. But do you really think they will? I look at BBC's move as being more desperate. The iPlayer platform costing them too much. The views are only there for them. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not saying no, but I'm not convinced yet. And when you say live streaming, I mean they're not going to try and charge us for live streaming, surely. That's we're broadcasting. We should be paid. Fuck me. Hey Alan, great to see you again, mate. Vindy! Vindicator. Anybody that doesn't know Vindicator, where the fuck have you been? Go check out his channel immediately. And he did a really fucking good video this morning. And then when you did that video this morning, I could see the soldier come out of you, mate. I could see you were in professional mode this morning, and it was really cool to see. I loved it. They all jumped on the bandwagon, now they got sour grapes. Ooh. That's very true. Restore membership growing 123,000 early this morning. Inman is centre left. I think that may be our problem, yeah. Yes. And unfortunately, way things become more and more, somebody says the word ETHNAT, his head starts spinning around rather than just go, well, hang on a minute. What is someone said the word ETHNAT. Nazi. It's like, whoa, slow down. That's not how you have debate. That's not how you have conversation. You've just branded 3 million people racist. Or I say 3 million, that's the minimum number count. They're still licking their wounds regarding the collapse of Advance and feel sheepish about moving over to the Restore stream train. I think that Paul Fort might. I think Richard's prepared to die on the hill because he really believes this shit. He really believes there's Nazis under the floorboards. Excuses for people, you're right. Richard obviously never grew up in a multicultural area and felt it was like to be a minority in your own country. You're hitting the truth again. Seen that in Capricorn, and I like Charlie. Griffnat's desperate to protect their income will spout any nonsense. Well, again, people call me an CIVNAT, and I realise people associate that with the grifting. Again, what I said to you earlier on was this is not 8 years ago, and there are some. People call me a CIVNAT, and I don't know similarities with the ETHNAT of today, the average ETHNAT, and people like me, whatever I am, than I've ever seen. We're all looking for the survival of our race. Sure, I agree with that. Trying to catch up. Richard was very selfish. Yes, that's something I meant to say, and you've said it, Dibbles. Richard was very selfish. He's seen his imagined power disappearing, so his bitterness popped out. That's exactly what I saw. And he selfishly lashed out, not once, not twice, but again and again and again, and naming people as racist. And he threw every toy out the pram. No, the slider thing won't work at the moment. I don't know why the buffer's not working. Again, that could be YouTube. It should work. Positive outcome from the outburst about Rupert showed that straight out of the gates, he could have adversity on his shoulders and come out smelling the roses. I won't turn my back on Tommy. I think it's a little unfair how people are treating him. How are they treating him? I don't know. I've not been seeing it. Tommy's views were. We're in Britain, and we didn't know what all of his views were. You've got to understand that a little while back, I remember Tommy saying, I'm not a Zionist. I only say it to take the piss out of people. I question it. That's right for me to question it. Why have you changed that? You know? So I've worked with Tommy, and I've made 2 episodes of The Rape of Britain with Tommy, and that was good work. Well done, you know? But it doesn't mean I can't criticise him. And it doesn't mean I can't criticize, you know? There's some things he's done that are really good. But if we start treating him like a superstar that can do no wrong, and we start doing that with Rupert Lowe or anybody else, that's when you get taken for a cunt. Yeah, you've got to start treating people for the good that they do and the bad shit that they do as well. Nobody's perfect, and he's far from it. Richard Sam, short of a picnic. Anyone concerned about the bill Lotus Eaters was talking about last? I will not deny anyone from talking. Right, and that's how we need to be more, because then we find out, oh, the ETHNATs in a way, they were told things about us so that we just slammed the door on each other, so that we never actually spoke. So we never knew what we had in common. Because if we came together as one, we'd be unstoppable, right? And that's, I think, what they've been truly afraid of. Because the ones I've spoke to so far are not racist at all. Bob and Inman wanted the country changed until it wasn't their guy and them doing it. Which means what? Which means what, Sparkly Pegs, right? I love your name. Which means what? It means that their way or the highway. They actually got so enamoured with their success based on Tommy going to prison, they started to believe their own hype and thought they could control the narrative all the way to an election. What fucking delusional pair of YouTubing cunts. Seriously, they're YouTubers. And that's what they thought was going to happen. That is probably the most dead-on accurate thing. Now, I didn't say that, everybody. That person did. The stream is repeating 1 to 2 seconds. I don't know what that means, Spin. Explain. So Tommy got 2 matches on the marches on the 16th of May and 1 in September. I didn't know he had 1 in September. I didn't know about that one. But don't give... He's not God. Because funding the immigrants to here, yeah. Sorry, very noisy here. Screw off. Can't hear Tom. No problem, no problem. I'm trying to catch up. I've got loads of comments coming through, and it says I've got 1 person on, and yet I'm swamped with comments. I'm not going live today, okay. Oh, I must be well behind. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I'm trying to catch up, because I know the signal's fucked. Tom, oh shit, I shouldn't be swearing. Tom, my daughter loves your channel, Vin and Gobsters. So I'm going to try to stop swearing a bit more. Hi to your daughter. I wish her all the best in the world. And hi out to, and shout out to Gobster as well. Some lovely people in the chat today. Open-minded people as well, prepared to talk rather than slam people down for silly labels that people have made up. What goes where the views are. That's right. That's right. He is a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber. And I'm not even going to criticise him, because if I criticise him, people say, oh, it's sour grapes, you're jealous. He's a YouTuber. That's all time to change. You're always learning politically. Yes. May have started today more civic, but now you've got a happy medium. Absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to grow and learn. And people that just learn something and stay there, they're in the way. The moment you stop listening and growing, you're in the way. The moment you think you've got all the information you'll ever need, you're in the way. Because if you think that you've got all the answers, you're fucked. And so is anybody following you. You've got to be always willing to be wrong and to learn more. I'm sorry about the jumping. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, guys. I truly don't. Actually, I am using the right hardware. No, I'm using the right phone. I don't know what's happening. This is normally, you know when we normally do the stream and it's perfect? This is the phone and the signal I use. It must be YouTube. Because people are telling me other streams are having problems today. Okay, it's worse than it. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, guys, in case you can't see me, I'm going to wrap this up. It seems like somebody's told me somebody else on YouTube's stuck with their viewers. There's other stuff going on. So I'm just going to call it, okay? I'm just going to call it. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for supporting me. Sorry about the errors today. I promise you, they're not this end. I did check before I went on. This is correct phone, correct signal. Everything's fine this end. It's a YouTube problem. So hopefully they'll get it fixed today. So I apologise, but thank you for sticking with me through their fucking issues. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Dibbles. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Tommy. Now, I'm not saying you worship anyone justice for 100. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people who do. You've got to understand there's people who think that there's certain people, not just Tommy, others as well, that can do no wrong. And we're all human beings at the end of the day, you know? Right. Alan, great to have you. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Tigaroo. Thanks, Tina. Thanks to everybody and anybody I've missed out as well. Really do appreciate you. Babs, everybody. Anybody I've missed out, thank you so much. Vin, always love you. As I said, look at Vin's walk. I call it walk and talk. Sorry, morning walk this morning because it was really good and I really got into it. It really, yeah, it was good. It was good to watch. So have a look at Vin's morning walk today. I have put it on my community section as well. It was a good video. Made the hair stand up on the back of my neck. So, because he's just in his professional mode. So it was brilliant. Thanks, everybody. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now. Let's put some music on.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything. That's my boy! Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia!
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are resistant.
Communism is king.
Oh, baby. It's on you.
Remember where you were.
Commander Worf. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge. Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's